we're just trying to find the best players, best 11 players on the field, trying to create an opportunity for guys that, can elevate their skill set in certain positions. I've been pleased to this point. Obviously, it's only practice 5, but I've been pleased to this point, and, it's still a work in progress. We're just trying to find the best combination to get ready for game 1.
It seems like Sonny being there, not only off the last one, is that kind of part of the idea?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a unicorn, so to speak. Just like I said, I love the kid. We're just trying to create the very best opportunities for our guys to be on the field to give us the very best chance to win game 1.
Perry, we saw that sort of 3-guy configuration a lot in the practice we saw last Thursday. Jim's sort of intimated that might be kind of the leading trio with him and Carter and Ransom. Just how did that come together? Was that through individual decisions as you see it, or did that group sort of grow together in some way?
No, I mean, it's still early. It's practice 5. Obviously, we're a 4-2-5 defense, so there's going to be 3 safeties on the field. It just happened to be that combination. Like I said, it's practice 5. I've been pleased to this point. Still got a lot of work to do. Not a finished product by no means.
Do you want to have 3 guys play the vast majority of the snaps, or do you kind of look at it matching based on personality?
No, I mean, we're looking for at least 6 guys plus 1, to be honest with you. I mean, that's what it's going to take to get ready to play a game. I think anything past that, it's going to be hard to get the necessary reps in the week to get ready to play an opponent. So the thing I love is this healthy competition. Nobody's guaranteed a spot, and that's what you want as a coach, so they know they got to bring it every day.
Perry, we've seen 3
depth on this team. It seems like it's at the safety group, just seems like a very deep group here.
Yeah, I mean, we're better than we were last year, but I think part of that is just another year in the system, another year in the scheme, so they have a greater understanding, so you're seeing more guys get reps.
For a while now, Perry, we've seen Lathan play all 3 safety spots. Jihad played in the slot in the spring. Now seems to be back. Sonny's played everywhere. Are we making too much of which positions these guys are playing and not trying to focus on which 3 are just generally out there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say yes. For us, we're a safety-driven defense, so one of the things for those guys they got to know is they got to learn everything, because anything can happen in a game. So it's our job as coaches to prepare our guys for the what if, because things do happen. It's a long season, and we plan on playing for a long time. So for you, to read into it, that's totally up to you guys. But we're just trying to find the very best mix and chemistry to utilize our personnel and our talent that we have on this football team.
Is that a little bit of a shift from last year where you guys were trying to find the best fit at each spot, and now you're just trying to find the guys who can play all 3 and just go with the 3 safeties from there?
In fairness of the players, it was year 1, so you're just trying to get them to understand the scheme, their job. Now going into year 2, they know the what, the why, and the how. And so that's what's fun for me as a coach is to be able to see them process even more, play even faster, and see them grow.
So when you look forward to that situation, guys who are flexible and versatile enough to play multiple spots, or guys who are just ready to get a personal job, now that they're in year 2 and they know.
I think it comes down to football IQ. They got to have a great grasp of football first and foremost, because you can be a great athlete, but if you don't understand and can process, then you're going to struggle, whether it's here at Ohio State, the NFL, and what we do defensively. We have to know ball. So it's more so putting in the time and the effort and understanding the concept of what we're asking you to do, being able to articulate it, process it, and then apply it on the field in practice.
What is Mike Hartford's physical growth and for what you do?
From day one when we went into his house in recruiting, we knew he was always talented and he would strike you. But I think what he's done, what our nutrition, our strength staff has done as far as the gains he's put on throughout the summer have been nothing short of amazing. But that's a credit to the young man's, maturity. So I'm excited about him.
Back to Sonny for a moment. Just elaborate on what you see his role being. I know it's very early, Perry, but just what do you see his role being?
He'll be on the field.
Perry, what would a guy like Sonny being called as a coach? Is there a challenge with finding him the best spot, but also not giving him so much that it's too much for him and he thinks too much and takes away from some of that athleticism and that makes him so special?
No, there's nothing difficult at all. We know exactly what we want to do with him. We've created a great plan for him. We've thought it through, and we're excited about what it's going to look like.
Coach, when you look at Sonny Styles, what do you see? Do you see, how would you define it? A football player? I mean, how would you define what you see in him?
I just see an outstanding young man that's extremely coachable, committed, selfless, and he's a true definition of a Buckeye.
Yeah, and when did it dawn on you from the get-go that this guy has got to be on the field? I mean, how would you describe, when it became apparent to you that he must play?
I think midway through last season, you got a 17-year-old coming in who had reclassified and obviously looks like a grown man when he steps in the door, but the fact still mattered is he was still 17 years old and hadn't played college ball. And so the thing, like I said, with Sonny is just his maturity, his willingness to be coached, his selflessness. I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing is he's been that way since day one. He's not an entitled guy, and I'm excited to see what he does this year.
What does it give you guys?
Job was playing nickel in the spring. Why did you guys change that?
Like I said, we're just trying to find the very best combination. The thing about Jihad, he got hurt midway through spring. So you didn't get a real true evaluation. And, albeit in the summertime, we're working with him on the field as far as OTAs. But it's different when you put on the pads and you're flying around. So right now it's still fluid. I'm excited about, where he's at to this point. But it's still a learning curve because he missed half a spring. So, we're just taking it one day at a time.
What does it give you
to get to that point with that top group of safeties since being hurt this spring?
I wouldn't say it's a top group. I would just say, right now is day by day. Everybody's got to fight for their position every day. No position is etched in stone. They know that. So the healthy competition is great because guys got to bring it every day. And they got to bring it in every area, on the field, in the meeting, in walkthroughs. So that's what you want. That's what camp's about. And at the end of the day, wherever we started right now doesn't mean we're going to end there come when we play Indiana.
How did you see him respond to that increase?
I thought he did great. Jihad's an older guy. He's not a freshman, so he attacked the rehab. He attacked what he needed to do to get back on the field, so I've been pleased with that.
What about his game could fit in adjustment, which has some special?
All of our guys have a unique skill set, so he's a guy that's flexible as well. It's not you got to be here, you got to be there. It's just a matter of what's going to give us the best opportunity against certain personnels, against certain teams, for us to have the very best success as a defense and as a team.
What is it? 6 + 1. How close are you to that 6?
Not even.
What does it give you when you have somebody like Sonny's 230? Last year you started a guy nickel who was 190. So just different physical bodies and all that. What does it give you when if you were to go with like one of bigger safeties playing that nickel spot, somebody like Sonny?
I think part of the discussion as far as the safeties in general is we've been around each other for over a year now. So there's a familiarity of exactly how a young man thinks, how he truly fits in the system. It's our job, my job as a coach, to identify that and give us our best chance to win and be successful and give the individual young man in that position, whether it be nickel, adjuster, or bandit, the very best opportunity to play at the highest level as far as execution.
Is it beneficial to have somebody who's at a big size at a nickel?
Yeah,
or I don't know if there's like a specific body type you typically look for in that spot?
Not necessarily. I think the uniqueness of Sonny is just, his football IQ. His ability to truly process and articulate, his ability to be coached, and understand the pieces around him at such a young age. I think that's where, the uniqueness is because you don't get that all the time.
Perry, it looked like when we were watching practice the other day, Jair Brown and Ryan Turner were working in a little bit in some of that nickel stuff. Do you think of them as safeties right now? Are those corners who might play in the nickel in certain situations, or how should we be thinking about that?
I think you said it best, situational football.
Okay.
We're trying to create opportunities to maximize our personnel, and the cool thing is, like I said, we're going into year 2, so there's a more familiarity with our guys, whether it be at the corner position, at the safety position, where we can mix and match. And so right now we're just working through that, and there's nothing etched in stone. Just to continually improve each and every day. He's played a lot of football, and now you can see a difference in his pace. You can see a difference in the speed that he's playing at, and it's exciting. And the cool thing is, he's really taken a leadership role. He had a phenomenal summer. He really did. He had a phenomenal summer. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see his growth from last year coming off of a serious leg injury to actually having to be in the first game. That wasn't planned, but he stepped in. He didn't make excuses, which we don't, and he just kept getting better and better. So right now I'm excited to continually see his growth.
He's been in a room that's kind of fluctuated his entire career. You had Perry and Matt. To finally have like a solid foundation to kind of build with, 2 years in the same system and being able to understand it. Have you seen him taking some steps just forward in his development?
Absolutely. Trust and love. Trust and love. There's an unwavering trust and love in the room. He's totally bought in. He understands his assignment. He understands what he's got to do on and off the field. He's been a pro about it each and every day, so I'm looking for him to continue to make great strides.
Is Martinez a guy that you kind of view similarly to Jair and Ryan and being able to kind of play some cornerback at that safety spot?
Yes, he's got a unique skill set. Like I said, it's our job to identify the guys that's going to help us win. Each and every one of them are unique in their own individual ways. So, he's part of that matrix.
You said in the spring that you wanted Sonny's role to be more streamlined. Has that kind of thinking changed here now that you're in the camp?
Absolutely not. No, it's still the mindset. It's unfair to a young man. He's got to master his craft. So it's our job to put him in a position so he can do that, so he can have the best success, on Saturdays and help his teammates win.
Can the league be part of that 6+1 that you were talking about?
Say that again.
Can the league be part of that 6+1 that you were talking about?
He's part of the matrix. He's having a really good camp to this point. He's continually growing. Obviously, he came in January, so he's ahead of the curve than some of the freshmen that came in the summer. But right now he's having a good camp to this point.
The pick six that he had in practice the other day, was there something you saw in that in the film that stands out for his age?
No, I mean him and Sonny are similar. He can process the game. He sees the game differently. He's extremely smart. He's got a high football IQ. And so it doesn't surprise me because he did the same thing when he was in high school. So I'm looking for him to continue to grow.
He started last year. He's special teams. I think the recovery happened on one of the last months. Are you guys, are those conversations still ongoing? He's such a weapon on special teams. I don't want something to happen to him. So what's that conversation like with Parker and the defensive staff about Lately being a weapon on special teams, but also not risking too much?
Here at Ohio State, our best players play on special teams. Period.
Perry.
Josh has been great. I mean, his attitude's been great. He's flying around. He had an interception today. It's been great. And then he graduated. He just graduated. So the young man's on cloud 9 right now, and I'm seeing him continually grow. And he's going to play a significant role. To this point, I've seen great growth from him.
A couple more questions, guys.
Last year, obviously, this is something we wanted. How is he responding to that? What kind of, what does he need to show you?
Just consistency. One of the things about Josh, he had a character building moment game 1 last year. He learned from that. He had a great attitude. He was selfless. He's a team guy. I love the young man. He got his degree, and that's a huge feat. And so now he can get to play the game he loves and help his teammates win and do it at a high level. So I'm excited to see him continually grow. But the biggest thing is just consistency, and he knows that.
Barry, how much are bandit and nickel mirrored positions in their responsibilities, just like one is to the boundary and one is to the field? Are they otherwise kind of similar in the job description?
To a certain degree. There's some little nuances here and there that make their job descriptions a little different, but to a certain degree, yes, there's some carryover and overlay.
Because I think part of the discussion with Sonny is people hear nickel, and I think of it more as like the old term, old school, like you put the nickel on the field in a purely coverage situation.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case with the position as you all use it, right?
Right. Well, I'm from the old adage, players over scheme. And so it's our job, once again, to identify the right chemistry, the right guys in the right positions to help us win game 1 and put us in a position to be the very best defense to help this team.
So Perry, when
You're hearing a lot about Kai Stokes like last spring. Where is he right now?
He's good. He's continually growing. Kai is a guy that he came in. He played multiple positions in high school, so there was a learning curve. But I've seen great strides from Kai. He's continually growing.
So when you think guys in your room, they got to do their job, make sure they don't make any mistakes. But when you think about like big plays in the game made by a safety, how much of that typically is scheme or the call set up a huge play for a safety to make, and how much of it is just a dude making a great individual play based on his knowledge and skills. You know what I mean? Like
I think the separation's in the preparation. I think that's where it starts. You know, we're going to give our young men the necessary tools in development, in preparation for them to go out there and play the game they love. So it's a combination of both.
Did you just make that up? Separations in the preparation?
No, sir. That's something we live by.
Oh, okay. No, I just.
Coach, thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.
Coach is going to do a TV interview.